it is a story for boxing fans and sports fans, but it's also a story about an immigrant who defied the odds, faced huge racial abuse, and actually was supported by Brendan all through this to become world champion.
Oh, that was a solid shot from Hamed. It's a knockout!
How do you get into the part? What's your kind of process? Do you read a lot, or do you go into it? What's your kind of process?
A bit of everything, really. So there were many like factions to get into it. Firstly, the script is the Bible. You got to read the script and understand all his wants and needs from that. And on top of that, you know, I was lucky that I was a massive fan of Naseem Hamed growing up.
So you knew a lot before you...
I did. I used to, watch his fights and even have his autograph from growing up and stuff. So I was a big fan of him.
Yeah.
But besides that, it's the movement outside, inside the ring, the way he talks, how his relationship dynamics.
Yeah.
But also through the years, you see a transformation in himself as well, and then physically.
Yeah.
The last and probably one of the most important ones as well. How do you look like a boxer, and also a boxer who's at the elite level as well? So intense training, 5-week training,
Do you like that, being in the gym and?
Yeah, no, I loved it. Absolutely. I was on a strict diet, but I was working out 12 hours a day, from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. But I loved it. It was something new for me, and I always try and approach things in have I done this before? Does it scare me? Okay, great, go into it. Yeah.
You want to be challenged, basically.
100%.
Yeah.
And I think if something is worth it, deep down, it will scare you.
And what was it like working with Pierce Brosnan?
Amazing. He's very, very humble, very down to earth, a team player, someone that I genuinely look up to, and a consummate gentleman.
And what would you say to other people looking up at you now? Big film.
Listen to your parents, I don't know.
He was eccentric, and he was, in moments, a little bit scary, I think. But really, he did everything that he did for the love of his brother.
How much did you know about Prince Naseem Hamed? Do you follow boxing? Was there any?
I know nothing about boxing. I knew very little about Prince Naseem. I knew about the entrances. From childhood, I think I had things locked in my head. But the journey of watching his fights and learning about his journey to where he got was actually really, really inspiring, and I think the film honours him and also honours Brendan, who was part of that journey.
100 wannabe fighters have walked through that door. You've got what they haven't. And they hate you because you're different.
I'll just ignore him.
Embrace it. It'll make you stronger. You could be champion of the world. I'll give every inch of my heart.
And what was difficult or easy about this playing Naz? Did you know a lot about him?
Yeah. So it was quite easy for us to pick up the boxing, because we do boxing outside of acting. Yeah. So it was quite easy to to pick it up and do all the moves.
Of course, as him also being from there, we're from. We always used to look up to him in boxing.
Heritage.
Yes, exactly. So it was we always looked up to him, and it was brilliant to play him.
Where did you get that colour in your lip?
See when you got that bent nose.
You're unbelievable.
You playing alongside Pierce Brosnan, how was that?
Honestly, he's a really, really nice guy. It was a pleasure to meet with him, and I really, really hope to do some other stuff with him too.
I felt honoured to be working with such a big name in the acting industry, and
You don't get intimidated?
I feel more proud.
What was really impressive is the handling of the story and having both Brendan's story and Prince Naseem Hamed. Did you get that right on the script, or was it something when you came to film, you were able to manage?
I worked really hard to get it right in the script, but at the same time, I think movies live and die on performance. So the work of Amir, the work of Pierce, the work of Catherine, of Arian, is so much of it. There's only so much you can put on the page, and there's only so much that I can do, as way of encouragement as a director. I think it might have been David Mamet that once said that 90% of directing is casting, and he's right, and so, I did as much as I could on the page, and then I relied on these guys to, pull it off brilliantly on screen.
What did you do to get that performance out of Pierce Brosnan? It's amazing, it's fantastic, it should really be I hope it gets an Oscar nomination because it's really that good.
Oh, fantastic.
And the film is great.
Oh, man, thank you very much, mate. No, look, I think that it's stunning work from Pierce. I mean, look, I've been a fan of it since I was a kid. I just posted on my wall, when I was like 14 in GoldenEye. I think he is a wonderful actor. He's so charismatic. And a lot of it is about playing to his strengths, and he's got so many strengths. He's a very prepared guy, very prepared. And so, I used a week of prep to rehearse with him and with Amir. Only a few hours a day. You don't want to be stale with the work, but a lot of it was reading through the script. We'd get to a scene and I'd talk about, what true life event inspired this moment, what, where I felt Brendan was, where I felt, Naz was, in this moment. And so we talk about it, he'd make notes, and, he'd then prepare further based on those conversations. At the end of the day, look, it's about, reacting to what he's doing brilliantly. It's about just encouraging more of, it's not one of those situations where you say, okay, well, you played that sad, now let's play it happy and workshop it. It's not, working with actors is about understanding what their strengths are and working with their strengths. And with Pierce, it was about, knowing that he is one of the most prepared people you ever meet, and working within, those confines.
The two of you, it feels like you're drifting apart.
Tell us about the role playing Brendan Ingle's wife.
Well, they were a very supportive and loving couple, and I think she obviously was very involved in the gym. And obviously I wasn't involved in the boxing scenes, but they were such a strong couple and she was so supportive of him. And theirs is a real sort of lovely little love story playing alongside.
You're the kind of his moral conscience, I feel, in the film. How would you...
She's very, very protective of him, so she keeps an eye on everything that's going on around him, just to give him support and sort of try and lead him in the right, to make the right decisions. But there's so much love there, it's really beautiful.
So how did you come to be involved in this film, Giant? What made you want to be a part of it?
So TrueBrit are a business that I founded that focuses exclusively on supporting British movies, and I couldn't think of a better British story than something about Prince Naseem. Also, Rowan wrote a really fascinating insight into the relationship between Brendan Ingle and Naz, as he sort of found him as a 9-year-old boy and trained him to be world champion. That really represented a sort of classic British biopic that we don't see enough of in the UK. So we were really excited to be involved.
And were you very well aware of Prince Naseem Hamed's story? And
yes, very much so. Well, I remember him fondly from the 90s. He was an icon. He was, he was such an entertainer. He took the world by storm with his style and his style of boxing and his style of showmanship, which is also what I think people will remember him by. And we wanted to showcase that as part of the movie as well.
Did you want to find the boxing audience and another audience which is interested in the story?
Yeah, I think there's a huge boxing audience who are fascinated to know more about Naz, but this was meant to be a feel-good film. We loved the idea in the script that had it evoked sort of Billy Elliot, or that notion of a trainer taking a young boy in the north of England, not dissimilar to Billy Elliot, and training him to become his world champion. That relationship was core to this, so it is a story for boxing fans and sports fans, but it's also a story about an immigrant who defied the odds, faced huge racial abuse, and actually was supported by Brendan all through this to become world champion. Some of his arrogance and his persona was built around the fact that he had to defy the adversity he faced. And, that's a fascinating story for all audiences, I think.
Well, it's great. Pierce Brosnan's great performance. He should really get an Oscar nomination, I think. But
well, I hope so. No, we certainly wouldn't be pushing him for that. Yeah. Obviously, that'll be in the hands of the BAFTA voters and the Oscar voters, but absolutely, I think it's one of his best performances I think he's done in his career. It really is. Yeah, everyone's come out of the film and said, look, it's a really entertaining film, but Pierce is amazing. And so, definitely it's great to have sort of a legendary actor like that in this movie.
Let's tear it up. Hamed has done it! The Prince is champion of the world!